Hello, everyone. Today I would like to do the transmission for balancing energy, aligning energy within the physical and spiritual being. And before we start with the transmission, I would like to talk about transmission itself, because nowadays people just look for transmissions and forget about cultivating their own power, about trying to learn to empower themselves, heal themselves. So the point of this transmission is not to make you dependent on it, but it can be of, it can be of supportive tool for you in your process of healing and self-refinement, so you can help yourself to align. But it's the most crucial in spirituality is to learn to align yourself with a higher being and heal yourself, empower yourself. So this transmission is not about creating crutches. A lot of people try to transmit something. They're not pure vessels. They have emotional, mental residue. They have different physical imbalances and hosts of parasitic energy. So before you attempt at, watching someone's transmission, please be aware of that and learn to connect within yourself to the higher being. And from that standpoint, develop discernment and awareness to see who is who, what is what in this world, so that you can understand what would you like to connect to and what you wouldn't like to connect to. Because every time you connect to someone, and especially if those people have intention to create some kind of an effect on you, that can also impose some kind of energy or open a portal between you and those beings and that which they are connected to in you. So be very aware. Light beings, higher beings do not have any intentions. They are the higher being. They are the presence. They are what they are. They're aligned with themselves. And so whatever their subtle intention is, that is not distorted by mental emotional residue, because there is no that residue, because that residue has been dissolved. When people are thinking that they have evolved spiritually, or they gain some power, they feel some energy, yet they are not refined on mental emotional levels, they're not masters, they're not aligned with themselves, with a higher power, they don't have properly distributed energy within the system, their transmission is polluted, and they transmit not only that which they're connected to, which could be, of course, of a higher or lower spiritual frequency, but they also transmit their emotional, mental residues, or at least create an opening in those who watch those transmissions. And those transmissions may also create negative effects. So whenever you watch a transmission, and you wouldn't, first of all, be attracted, for instance, to this transmission unless you have something within your soul that vibrates in the same way. So transmission can create the true transmission with the higher being, can create a tremendous life-changing impact, healing, can raise vibration. This frequency can destroy negative residue within one's physical and energetic being, can dissolve all the residue or the emotional residues, align one's being, but doesn't mean that this is a crutch that has to be used all the time. You have to, after all, absorb these energies, these frequencies, and learn to cultivate them within yourself. Learn to observe all those corrupt patterns that have been, acquired by you in this incarnation or previous incarnations, and learn to let go of them. Because sometimes on an energetic level, you may dissolve something, but then you have a habit to create it, a psychological habit. And so you also need to learn to let go of certain habits and inclinations within yourself. So when you watch this with an open and sincere heart. If you watch it with any other intention, it will reflect back to you. It's very important to understand that everything in this world, in this existence, is energy. It's just that these are different energies, different frequencies, and the way they align in our physical body makes us either healthy or unhealthy, either emotionally regulated, aligned, and blissful, kind of free from emotion. Because when you're blissful, you are sort of, you don't have emotions and thoughts, they're just in potentiality. You don't have that emotional mental residue, so you become aligned with the truth, with a higher being, and your being is expressing it. So you become aligned with the creative power of that higher being, and that higher being manifests through all your centers in a very aligned way. When you're emotionally, mentally dysregulated, you're restless, ungrounded, you imagine a lot, you think about things, you want to open this center, that center, you want to connect to these entities, those entities, but you're not aligned, you're dysregulated mentally, emotionally, and you become a food, energetic food to whatever subtle entities. You can be fooled around, you can be, just distracted continuously. So it's very important on a spiritual path to realize what is what. And the truth is very simple. So it's important to be aligned, to be the vessel of the truth, and so that this truth permeates through your being, through your cells, through your organs, through your glands, and so through your nervous system, so that you're balanced, aligned, grounded in the body, not in a hypocritical, superficial way, but in a very realistic way, in a very real way, when you don't need to prove anyone anything or get validation. You are in your own power, grounded. And when people wonder about what is it being grounded, they usually think it's some sort of a nice feeling, but it's not just about the feeling, it's about being settled in your own power. They wonder about opening the heart, opening the solar plexus. It's all about, it's not about physical body, it's about being grounded on this level, on a spiritual level. It's a spiritual awakening, conscious awakening. It's about your awakening to the higher being. It's about your expansion of consciousness, the maturity of soul that then starts permeating your physical body or transpiring through your energetic system and physical system. So all these residues, traumas, problems, diseases, imbalances are basically in your consciousness. So when you are consciously diseased or imbalanced, it transpires into your organs, because your organs process this information. For example, if you have anger, your liver will be stagnant, or you have some issue with processing reality, so your digestive organs will be stagnant. And when we think about mental, emotional, physical healing, we always think about the body, about physical discipline or eating, although that has to do with our biochemistry only to a certain degree, because everything starts and ends with consciousness. It is consciousness having its physical experience, and when it has this physical experience, it manifests through the glandular system into the physical body and the way how organs function. So the draining actually happens on the conscious level. And so this transmission, this purpose of this transmission is to empower your consciousness to see its misalignments, its traumatic residue, mental and conscious residue. Because when you are in a meditative, absorbed state, you are grounded. So the real groundedness is when you are, thoughtless and emotionless. You cannot be grounded and have thoughts and emotions. You can probably have sometimes thoughts and emotions when you need to deal with the physical reality, or choose something in the physical reality, but that's a very small part of your life. And so the main focus is when we speak in terms of groundedness, alignment, yoga, we speak about this being rooted in higher consciousness, being aligned with it. And so this transmission is basically to dissolve all the residue, all whatever has been there from your past traumatic experiences, whatever generates thoughts and emotions that is of draining nature. So when you watch this transmission from time to time, it will help you to kind of settle more and more in that awakened state. Awakened state is the state of yoga, is the state of alignment. So when you watch it, you will experience bliss, warmth in your pelvis, in your lower abdominal area. You will feel activation of the heart area and a very strong feeling of the present moment. You will feel activation of the root and the alignment of all the elements. When all the elements are aligned, you feel grounded. The elements are aligned on this level. This is the level of earth, fire, water. When you feel grounded and when the earth element is prevalent in its pure form, you feel very peaceful, very warm, very nurtured, very aligned, very absorbed and meditative. Your body doesn't move much. It stays in that lotus position or whatever position you are in the very, very sweet, blissful way. You feel stable inside. All your movements, all your words, all your actions are aligned and you feel powerful stillness. That is the activation of the root here. The pituitary pineal gland, the queen and the king are activated, and in the union and the alignment create this phenomenon. When there is activation of water element again here, it affects the nervous system. Nervous system very much relaxes as well on the levels of your sacred, you also feel it on the physical level. It's very important to understand that all these ideas of energy centers, they're all on a subtle level, but they transpire on the physical level, let's say around your sexual glands and so on. So you feel there that they're decongested, they are free, they are activated, the energies flowing freely, unobstructed. So when these centers are congested or blocked by trauma on a subtle level, it transpires into your nervous system and physical level as some sort of congestion, contraction of the nervous system on these levels, on the levels of your chest, let's say, or your abdominal area, pelvis. So when we say that the root has activated, we talk about this, again, thalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal gland, which when are in a balanced state, and again, it's not about the glands at all, it's about the conscious being, the consciousness activated to its eternal potential, to its light being. And because of that, the pineal and pituitary and thalamus and hypothalamus got activated. It's not that the stimulation of these glands will make you activated on a spiritual level. And again, foolishly, people do not understand this science. They think that overstimulation of nervous system by exercising, drugs, food, whatever, that they will create a spiritual experience. Remember, spiritual experience is spiritual. So it's the maturity of the soul, consciousness. The consciousness can't be fooled. You cannot tell it, hey, be still, do this. Because as long as on an energetic level there is residue, and everything is energy, as long as there is that residue, you will not be able to relax and be still. You can act like that and, be hypocritical, but that residue will continue generating thoughts, emotions, and you won't be naturally in a meditative state. Meditative state is when you are completely absorbed, you are still, you see, you are naturally in this kind of a mudra where your eyes look outside, but they don't look. It's Shambhavi mudra. So all of that is possible when the root is activated, and the root is activated from above. It's when consciousness reaches the maturity and you are expanding and gaining access to the collective higher frequency, and then you're pulling that higher frequency into the body. By pulling it into the body, you start dissolving all the residue which is related to your karmic past and present experiences. So you free yourself, so you dissolve all these hosts of parasitic energy on whichever levels, physical, cellular, from the blood, and also you seal all the portals to this collective negativity, karmic past residues from within. So this transmission is creating this alignment. Just because it's so high transmission, it transmits higher frequency of love and other frequencies above that, which are, you know, we can't verbalize, we can't describe them. We can say it's a spiritual transmission, but the spiritual transmission brings you into alignment and dissolves all that residue on a cellular level, on the level of your blood, of your nervous system, of your organs, that create connection and portal with the negative energy or any type of residue with the, you know, in your physical system, or any type of collective residue, so that you wouldn't be connected anymore to that. So whenever we dissolve this energy, everything gets dissolved. Your connection to the collective darkness is dissolved too. So this is the transmission. You'll feel it deeply, you will activate, you will feel warmth, healing, bliss, contentment, peace, alignment. You'll feel aligned, masculine, the feminine, all these different currents within your consciousness, all these connections which you have to the collective, which affect these or imbalance these aspects of you, they will be dissolved. You'll feel aligned from top to bottom, from the higher to the lower. If you look at the physical body, your root seems to be at the bottom. But if you look at the spiritual body, it's all reversed. This is the root. The rest is just the projection. When you become healed and aligned and awakened, you learn to master creative power and regulate. You become regulated, meaning you learn when to connect to certain aspects of reality, when to disconnect. Your own power creates natural shield and energetic boundary, spiritual boundary, that allows you to be not affected in your space of consciousness or your body by any foreign lower frequency energies. So you create spiritual and physical immunity, and you feel blessed, you feel integrated, you feel connected with a higher power, higher grace within and beyond your physical human existence. So this is the transmission to make you aligned with the higher being, to restore the connection with the higher being, to bring all the energy centers into alignment, and to dissolve whatever residue is there blocking that proper redistribution of energy within your physical energetic being. And it clears the connection with the higher reality, between you and the higher reality. You can realize high spiritual knowledge or access higher spheres when you're in alignment, when you're grounded, when you feel peace, when there's no emotional mental residue, when you feel still, aligned, protected, calm, then you're open to the higher reality and you're blessed by that higher reality. If you are still trying to connect to the higher reality, but physically you are not aligned, this again transmission will be beneficial only for those people who are free from parasitic energy. So please free yourself, refine yourself from physical parasites in order to benefit from this transmission. But even if you have those physical parasites, by watching this transmission, they will all be transformed into the light. They will all be dissolved. Each time you watch, they'll be weakened and eventually they will be dissolved into the light. All the fungi, all the pathogens, all the other chemical residue that can be there in your blood or in your system will be dissolved so that you actually can experience to the fullest this powerful transmission and the alignment, so that you will lay foundation for your further evolution, ascension. You have that protective energetic field against the negative energy, so that you can cultivate your spiritual light body, so that you can eventually ascend. May higher blessings be with you, protect you for your sincere soul watching it. With true devotion and sincerity, you will benefit from it. If you watch it with other intentions, there is only silence that I can give you. That silence will show you your residues, your negativity, all that you came with. It will be reflected back to you. May each and every person, each and every soul that carries light within be blessed, be protected, be healed by this transmission, be aligned, be grounded and experience that which is called yoga, or alignment, reconnection with the higher being reality, with divinity, with that higher existence, immortal essence, and may that immortal essence be activated on all the levels, cellular level, on the level of all the system, glands and organs, so that the body will be vibrant, will be healed, and will start realizing higher existence deeper and deeper. Thank you, and be all blessed and protected.